Alright, we're done with our creamy spinach. Now we have to take out our meat. It's been an hour now, so let's take it out. Okay. Ooh, yum. Let me just put it here. So you guys can just see all this yumminess that's happening in this pot. Now, do you see those brown bits on the top? You know, that's flavor, baby, flavor. Just look at that meat. Look at it. Ooh, ooh, yum, yum. Now, what I'm gonna do here, because as you can see, the sauce is still a bit, you know, runny. So I just want to thicken it up. We're making stew, so we want it nice and thick. Now, you remember I mentioned that I'm gonna put in a bit of brown onion soup. Tablespoon and a half of brown onion, not too much because I don't want to make it too thick. I just want the soup to thicken my sauce, you know, just to make it nice and thick, that's all. Because you must remember that we're not gonna add any liquids from here, but what we will add though, some mixed veggies, some mixed frozen veggies. Last minute. Those don't need time to cook. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna pop this back in the oven for a further 5 minutes, just for the soup to cook and for the veggies as well to soften. That's it. Now from here, I just love doing this though, you know, adding black pepper at the last minute. That's just the way I cook. A bit of black pepper. You know, just a bit, not too much. If I put it earlier, obviously I wouldn't be putting it now. But you can always add it anytime. You don't have to add it at the end of the cooking. No, that's just me though. Okay. Doesn't that just look amazing? And from here as well, you can add any veggies. You can add any potato, carrots, sweet potato, butternut, you know. You can add any veggies from here to make it a nice hearty stew that you can have with rice or mashed potato. Obviously, if you put mashed potato, you can use potatoes in there. Back in the oven just for 5 minutes, and then our stew will be ready. And then what I'm gonna do now, you remember we boiled some germ squash, so it's ready. You can see, because if you touch it now, it's a bit soft, right? Now it's cooked. That's fine. I took it out. I just drained the water out and took it out. Don't leave it in the water after just boiling it. Take it immediately out, because if you leave it in the water, it's gonna soak up that water. Take it out immediately and put it aside. Just close it, and then it will do its thing. You can join your brother or your sister there. Our zhuzhed up cream of mushroom. Right. Now on the table, on the stove top here, I've got some rice. It's just 1 cup of rice and 2 cups of water. What I'm gonna do now first though is I'm just gonna let it boil, and just for that rice to release the starch, and then I'm gonna rinse it, and then I will put in some more water for the rice to finish cooking. And then once that is done, I think our meal will be ready. I'm gonna do yellow rice though. So after I rinse the water, I'm gonna add in a bit of this magic spice. I'll tell you all about it once I've rinsed the rice. Okay, my rice is cleaned. It boiled, and then the starch came out. I rinsed it, and then I put it back in the oven again with another 2 cups of water. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna flavor my rice. A spoon of turmeric powder and half a spoon of salt. Okay. Turmeric is gonna give you that nice, beautiful yellow color. It's gonna just do its thing in this rice and just, you know, make it nice and beautiful. And then that's how you do your yellow rice. That's it. If you want this well with the yellow rice, you can add veggies. But today I'm just gonna cook it plain because I've got my frozen veggies in my beef stew, so I don't need to add veggies to this rice. But if the beef stew didn't have any veggies, for example, you could add them there just to beef up your veggie intake. You know, we try and get those veggies in there some way, somehow. Now this is just, let me just lower my stove because now it's bubbling too much. Lower it, put it to low, and then you're gonna let it do its thing. You must remember 1 cup of rice, 2 cups of water. You'll get the perfect rice. There's nothing worse than overcooked rice that is full of water. It's just like texture ya stampa, if you know what stamp is, or mealy rice. You don't want to cook rice like that. Your rice should be nice, light and fluffy. So I'll show you after this that we're gonna have a nice fluffy rice, and then we get to plate up. I get to show you all the meals that we prepared today, and we get to plate up. I'll show you how to plate up so you can impress your family with this fabulous meal that we've been preparing and slaving away for the whole day. Hi, I need a break.
Cool.
All right, let's finish up our gem squashes, guys. Okay. It was like this. It's cooked. So what you do, you just take your knife and, you know, divide it into 2. This way or this way, it doesn't matter, either way. So you're just gonna remove these seeds inside of it. Just remove the seeds there. You've got a nice little cup. You have a nice little cup there. Okay, there you go. Now you have to remove this because this thing, even inside, you'll get like a, I don't know what it's called, but that you can just use your fingers to remove it. It's not a problem. Okay. Now, from here on, let me just wipe my fingers quickly. Maybe this spoon, because I'm gonna use it. A teaspoon of brown sugar, dusting. Ooh. Now, if there's one thing that I cannot resist, it's any pumpkin or squash or whatever, you know, without sugar. No, I can't. It must have sugar and some margarine or butter or whatever. You know, it must. I can't eat it without, no. As much as I try to, you know, cut here and there, but when it comes to squash, no corners. This is just how I like it. So from here on, just put it in the oven. I just want to set my oven nice. You know, I mean, like I said, we don't want to cook this. This is already cooked, just to melt the butter and caramelize the sugar, and then our squash will be ready. And then we're gonna move on now to plating up. The rice is ready as well. Let's just get a fork Because I just want you guys to see how nice and fluffy the rice is. Ooh, also getting a facial, darling. At the same time, you see, they nice and fluffy. So don't use a lot of, or cook your rice with a lot of water. But if you see that your rice is cooked and it still has water in it, rather drain that water completely out and put it on the stove just for that water to steam up, and then your rice will be nice and fluffy. Then we can eat. We've been slaving away in this kitchen the whole day. We deserve a bell, don't we? Give that man a bell, huh? That woman, give that woman a bell. Okay, we're done. So now we're gonna start with our plating. We're gonna start with our plating. I just want to show you guys how you can present, you know, your nice home cooked meal to your family in a nice presentable way, you know, so you can just impress them. Alright, well, this one I'm gonna put it away, and then I'm gonna get all my veggies that we cooked and everything on the table, and then I'm gonna plate up for you guys.